The cruelest words are rarely spoken by strangers. A stranger can insult your clothes, misunderstand your silence, walk past the parts of you that matter most. And it may sting, but by morning their voice has usually become one more sound disappearing into the city. But when it is someone you loved, someone who knew the exact song that calmed you down, the story you only told when you trusted someone, the small fear you tried to laugh away, their words do not simply land, they find the open door. They walk into a room you built together, touch the things they once called beautiful, and somehow leave that room colder than it was before. Maybe that is why hate feels sharp, but love can feel like a wound with roots. Why does love sometimes hurt more than hate? Maybe it begins with something small. You are standing in a supermarket, reaching for the kind of tea they used to buy. You did not come there to remember them. You came for milk, bread, something ordinary. But your hand stops halfway to the shelf, and suddenly there they are. Not really, just everywhere your mind knows to look. The way they used to leave the cupboard door slightly open, the way their name looked on your phone at midnight, the way you learned the rhythm of their footsteps without ever meaning to. You put the tea back. Then you stand there a little longer than necessary, pretending to compare labels while something old and quiet presses against your chest. Have you ever noticed how hate does not do this? Hate does not hide in a grocery aisle. It does not live in the left side of the bed, in a familiar restaurant, in a phrase you still say because somebody once taught you to say it. Hate is easier to place. It has hard edges. You can point to what it did. You can close a door against it and feel, at least for a while, that the door is enough. But love leaves fingerprints on everything. And when it hurts, it is not just the person you miss. It is the whole private world that existed because they were in it. Maybe love hurts more because love is an invitation. Before someone becomes important, they are simply another person moving through the world. They have their own habits, their own history, their own weather inside them. Then, slowly, almost invisibly, you make room. You tell them what makes you nervous. You let them see you on the days you are less polished. You reveal the small, strange things, that you count the stairs when you are overwhelmed, that you still remember a sentence someone said to you when you were 12, that you are afraid of being too much and not enough at the same time. Love is not just holding someone's hand. It is handing them a map of the garden you spent years growing. Here's the path I take when I am sad. Here is the place where I hide the things I cannot explain. Here is the flower I have been protecting since childhood. Please be gentle with it. And most of the time, they are. That is the risk we forget while we are falling in love. Not because love is foolish, but because it is brave in a way few other things are brave. To love someone is to let them matter, to let their voice change the temperature of your day, to let their absence rearrange the furniture of your inner life. I wonder if that is why a careless sentence from someone we love can echo for years. You are too sensitive. I never asked you to do that. You have changed. Sometimes they do not even mean to hurt you. Sometimes the person who says it is tired, frightened, carrying wounds of their own. But the sentence still knows where to go. It slips through the gate because love gave them the key. And then there are the hurts without words. The call that does not come. The apology that arrives too late or never arrives at all. The moment you realize someone has been slowly leaving while you are still planning a future in the same room. Maybe you have sat across from someone you loved and felt them becoming distant in real time. They are right there. Their hands are on the table. They answer when you speak. But something has already stepped back behind their eyes. That is one of the loneliest kinds of pain. Watching a garden go quiet while both of you are still standing in it. No explosion, no villain, just fewer questions, shorter answers, a tenderness that begins to feel like a language neither of you remembers how to speak. And maybe this is why we sometimes choose anger after love. Anger is simpler to carry. It gives us somewhere to put the ache. It says, they were wrong, and sometimes they were. It says, I am done, even when part of you is still waiting by the gate. But hate asks very little of us. Love asks for a future. That is why its ending can hurt in places hate never reaches. When you hate someone, you do not mourn the mornings you imagined with them. You do not hear their laughter in a room after everyone has gone home. You do not have to learn what to do with all the care that has nowhere to go. Love hurts because it leaves behind evidence. The inside jokes that no longer have an audience. The saved messages. The gift you cannot throw away, not because it is valuable, but because once someone looked at you and thought, this belongs with them. Have you ever held an object from a relationship and felt how impossible it is that something so small could weigh so much? A sweater, a ticket stub, a key that opens nothing now. But maybe the deepest pain is not that love gave someone the power to hurt you. Maybe the deepest pain is realizing that you gave it willingly. You opened the gate. You showed them the garden. You believed, for a while, that being known was worth the risk of being wounded. And it was, even if it did not end the way you needed it to. Even if they did not know how to hold what you gave them. Even if some part of you still aches at the sound of their name. Because the capacity to be hurt by love is also the capacity to be changed by it. Think about it. The person who hurt you may have left a wound, yes, but they also revealed something true. You were capable of tenderness. You were capable of building a world with another person inside it. You were capable of trusting enough to say, here, this matters to me. That does not make the hurt beautiful. Not every ending is meaningful. Not every wound deserves gratitude. Some people damage what was offered to them, and you do not have to turn that damage into a lesson just to survive it. But maybe you can refuse to let their leaving become proof that love itself was a mistake. Maybe the garden was real, even if someone walked away from it. Maybe the flowers mattered, even if they did not last forever. So if you are carrying love that hurts, you are not weak for still feeling it. You are not foolish for remembering what was gentle before it became difficult. You are not alone in standing before an old gate, wondering why your heart still knows the way there. Sometimes, healing is not tearing the garden down. Sometimes, it is learning that you can tend it for yourself. You can gather the parts of you that were left exposed. You can plant something new without pretending the old paths never existed. You can let the memories become quieter, not by denying them, but by no longer asking them to tell you whether you were worthy of being loved. So many people are carrying this same private ache, love that did not know how to stay, love that changed shape, love that taught them how much a human heart can hold. What is one small thing love left behind in your life? A song, a place, an object, a habit, that still carries more feeling than it should. If you feel like sharing, leave it in the comments. And if you want a place for the deepest, quietest questions we all carry but rarely say aloud, subscribe. We will keep exploring them here, one honest story at a time. Love may leave a bruise, but it also proves your heart was once brave enough to bloom.